right, folks, we are back. It's the InfoWarrior, the last day of March 2009. It will be April Fool's Day tomorrow. No April Fool's jokes in this office, though. We just report the truth and nothing but the truth, or as close to the truth as we can find, because a lot of the times the mainstream media is out there deliberately manipulating us, deliberately putting out disinfo, deliberately trying to blind you from what's truly going on in the world. And here we're going to play this child indoctrination clip where they're going to have, you got to recycle. Remember, it's all about the environment. Play it up.
San Marcos, the city and Texas disposal systems are going to local schools to teach kids and hopefully their parents about the new recycling options.
When you tell the children something, they'll go home and tell their parents and actually monitor their parents' activities.
All this comes at a cost, though. Trash rates are up.
There we go. Oh, they're going to go and tell their parents, are they? Again, get the kids hooked on it. Then their parents are bad. Then they go, no, Mom, that's not how it works.
Now, speaking of Iran, I am an Israelite. I don't support Israel because I'm an Israelite. I'm not religious, but I support Israel, and that's what I wanted to speak to you about because I know a lot of people on here don't. I support Israel because it's the truth. The truth is the Arabic people, respect to them, respect to everybody, but the Arabic people have 21 countries. Just because the government in Israel or some people in it may be evil, as in every government, does not mean that the children of Israel don't deserve a home. Everybody deserves a home. And if you look at
but hold on, don't you think that there's a big problem with what they're doing on the Gaza Strip? I mean, listen, I'm no fan of the EU or the UN, but internal reports have leaked from both of them. But what they're doing there is annexation, and that they're guilty of war crimes against civilians. Go ahead.
I'm not denying that children are innocent. All children are innocent. But whether or not they're brainwashed to be suicide bombers or not, they're still innocent children. And I'm not denying that children are being hurt and killed. But you have to look at the bigger picture. When you zoom out, what is Gaza Strip and what is the West Bank? The West Bank is the province of Judea, where Jews come from. Just like you have the place called Arabia, where Arabs come from. The West Bank, which is where Jerusalem sits, is Judea, and Gaza Strip is in a province called Samaria. Now, if Jews went to Saudi Arabia and tried to claim it, there'd be just as much killing. So there's different colonization forces in the world. There's the Christian colonization forces in the world. There's also the Islamic colonization forces in the world. The
bottom line, though, is, man, when you start doing this by religion, I think it's divisive in any way, state. I mean, obviously, some people think that this is a race of people. I think that they have a right to have Israel. But don't you think there should be a two-state system? Don't you think Palestine just has just as much a right to exist, or no?
Well, you have to look at the history and study the history of where the word Palestine comes from.
Well, what I'm asking you is the people who live there now, no matter what you believe religiously, the people that live there now, do they deserve somewhere that they can live, that they're not going to have to worry about being bombed constantly, or should they just move out of there and give it to Israel? That's my question for you.
Well, if the Jews were allowed in all of the Arab countries and were allowed to live peacefully there, then they could come up truthfully, justifiably, and say, we deserve to be in your country peacefully.
Here's my problem with that, though, Jason. Two rights don't make a wrong. Just because they're not able to go to, say, a Saudi Arabia or somewhere else in the Middle East doesn't mean that they shouldn't give Palestine their nation state there and stop killing those people. I'm not saying that they're not persecuted by the rest of the Eurasian world, if you will, but at the same time, they shouldn't be murdering those other people. I thank you for the call. I want to say that I checked into this Glenn Beck speaking in San Antonio thing, and it appears that this is going to be on April 15th if he does come. That's when they're planning on having their tea party. And if this does happen, we kind of have to take steps now, a couple weeks beforehand, a little more than 2 weeks beforehand. I think that he's going to be doing it on the Thursday or Friday. But that's April 15th, 2009. If Beck's out there grandstanding with his 9/12 project, real patriots have to be out there saying, no, we're not falling for your scams. Because by April 15th, he'll have completely debunked the FEMA camps with his best buddies over at Popular Mechanics, a.k.a. Hearst Publications, a.k.a. Yellow Journalist Central. That's what that's all about, okay? So he doesn't want to tell you the truth. He doesn't want to talk about these huge acts right here these are public. Civilian inmate labor program. I didn't write this. I didn't print it for my health. I printed it to show you that this is a very thick bill talking about putting you in slave camps, slave labor camps. It's right here. Here's the other document we have. What is this one? The Army Civilian Police and Security Guard Program. It's right here. So, Glenn, what's the problem? You can't read? Is that it? Oh, no. We'll let James Megg say it's a conspiracy theory. Give me a break.
I knew she was a virgin when I first met her, rocking stockings and popping out of the Catholic school sweater. Mom told her she could do better than a criminal. 17-year-old psychotic trying to be lyrical. I never meant to break her heart and hook up her life, but I was careless instead of treating her right. I seen her again at some club stripping and wondered if I could have made her life different. I made a mistake. Yes, I did. Damn, shorty.
All right, folks, we are back. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Berma, PrisonPlanet.tv, theinfowarrior.com. We're going to keep going to your calls. It's 866-582-9933. One of these other articles I did want to get to, though, that I think this is about the last one I haven't at least touched upon. Now, remember, we backed Karzai. We put him in. He's our puppet. He's an ex-Chevron executive. For some reason, they've tried to kill him a couple times. I'm not exactly sure who, but he's survived a couple of assassination attempts. The UN is saying that he signed a law legalizing rape in marriage. Afghan President Hamid Karzai has backed a law that the United Nations Development Fund for Women claims legalizes rape within marriage and forbids women from leaving the house without permission. Look, the bottom line is this is our dictator. It doesn't surprise me that these kind of human rights violations are going on in Afghanistan, even though we're there. We don't care. We don't want human rights. This isn't about democracy. This isn't about a free republic. This is about a consolidation of control over the Middle East to bring in what they love, the New World Order. Their term, not mine. All right, let's go to Moat in Pennsylvania. Moat, what's up?
How you doing, Jason?
Good, man.
I just wanted to call in and give another example of what I believe to be misinformation or disinformation in regards to the G20 protesters. On gnews.com, there's an article headlining saying G20 anarchists set London financial district ablaze, and it has all these pictures of buildings on fire and people putting it out. Right now, they're saying the details of the fire are sketchy, but they believe it to be linked with these G20 meltdown groups.
Yeah, it's always anarchists or terrorists. I mean, let's go over what we reported on last night. Alex covered it today. But we see the first article, MSNBC says that these guys had a plot to blow something up and that they had weapons when they found them in their homes. It was very sketchy, but they said they had actual weapons. Then you go on to read the Telegraph article. They admit there's no weapons. They're all imitation weapons. You got a 25-year-old, two 20-year-olds, a 19-year-old, and a 16-year-old kid. Okay, these are the terrorists, and they find fireworks there. They don't charge them with a crime. They charge them with terrorism legislation. They are trying so desperately to demonize any type of dissent whatsoever, no matter how young you are, no matter what status you have, no matter how many people are going to listen to you. They don't want you to have freedom of speech, my friend.
Also, I wanted to suggest for the last 3 weeks to a month, me and my roommate have been writing all over money, different links to the Obama deception and InfoWars and the Fed, ask questions. I think it's a good idea to get the word out.
Absolutely. Everybody handles money. It is another way to fight this info war. I thank you for the call.